Okay, guys, we're back for another upload. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for sharing the time with me and doing this journey for Jeremy's Detective Comics number 33. We have a few more interior wraps to do. Actually, 3. I'm sorry, I keep on saying that, Jeremy, but this wrap gave us some learning curve problems. Actually, not learning curve. I wanted to make it better. Sometimes when I do books, I leaf cast in and I look at them like, oh, okay, I'm done. But not for you. Because I want to make this as best as I possibly can. And sometimes that takes time. So what are we doing now? What we're going to do now is we are going to blot it. And how we're going to blot it. We're going to take my shelving unit with my plastic piece. And then I'm going to take this off gently. I'm going to lift it up just like this. And then we're going to probably wind up hitting the camera as I always do. And then I'm going to slowly bring it onto the plastic just like this. Okay. And then we're going to put the wrap like that. And then we are going to increase my stock in Bounty, because what we're going to use now is a spoon. The spoon is very important in conservation. I like to use household items. The spoon, and this spoon is from Disney. Maybe not. Okay. So as you guys know, in the past, I've done this so many times. We just put a paper towel on, and then I gently rub the spoon up and down like this. Blotting is very important with leaf casting. You want to try to get as much moisture out as possible and as early as possible. So I'll even try to take some moisture out. Let's use my hands and just gently put pressure onto the wrap, letting the paper towel do its job just like this, and then slowly putting pressure on it. You see that, how easy it is? Then I have a little bit more paper towel here where we can use, meaning there is a little dry spot where I'm going to rub the spoon, because we like to use things multiple times here. I don't like to increase my stock value that much with Bounty. Okay? I don't even know who owns Bounty. I think I looked it up once. I think it's Johnson & Johnson maybe. I don't have any, I'm not a stock guy. Every time I buy a stock in my life, it falls and it goes belly up. I bought GM once. I love GM. I'm a General Motors guy. Bought a few shares, not a lot of money. The company went bankrupt after I bought it. If you remember that, that was probably early 2000s. I was like, wow, stocks are not my thing. I'm not a stock guy. And that's okay. I like real estate. I've purchased and sold many houses in my life. And the reason why I like real estate is sweat equity. So in the past, I haven't done it in a while, if I purchased a house, guess who would do the majority of the work on the house to fix it up? Install kitchens, install bathrooms, plumbing, soldering pipes, electrical work, masonry work. You're hearing them right here. And who are you hearing? Jerry the Jitterbug. Because I like to use my hands. And if I wasn't a lawyer, I know I would be some sort of tradesman. That's what I think I would be. So right there we have our spine done. And I think I'm pretty happy with the blotting. I'm not going to go too crazy Actually, I am, because I just did. That's enough blotting. So what we want to do now is we want to put it in Big Bertha, my copy, what is it? A copy press, printing press. I'm starting to forget these things. Big Bertha, okay? And we're gonna put one sheet of paper towel down, just like that. Then we have my nice plastic that I use all the time. And then we're going to put the shelving unit on top, just like this. Then what I wanna do is I wanna flip it around, just like this, okay? Because next what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put a second paper towel on the back. And let's use my tool here just to make sure that I don't lift up the holly text. So if you just go in there, see how easy that was? And we're just gonna lift it up so it stays flat. You don't wanna mess it up by lifting it up and screwing up the holly text. That's a bad thing. So I'm gonna put another piece of paper towel, just like that. And then we're gonna put our plastic like that, okay? Let's dry it off because it's a little wet. And then we're gonna put our shelving unit on top. And then it goes into the printing press. Copy press, I mean. Okay, bookbinding press. I'm a little tired today, guys. I've been working very hard. So it's in Big Bertha. And I'm going to stop the camera now, and I'm going to show you the aftermath of leaf casting for a second. And then when we come back, I'll show you how it turned out. I know I showed this in the past, but this is the aftermath of the leaf casting. You have your blender, methyl cellulose, scissors, all little tools and trinkets. Here's the other pieces of the book. When I finish a page, it's under glass and under various forms of parchment paper. There's my spectacles. And there's the workstation, guys. So I'll see you shortly, probably in about 48 hours, and we'll take a look at the results. Okay, guys, we're back, and I want to take a look at the wrap. It's been in the press for, let's see, I put it in on Thursday morning, I'm sorry. And then now it's Saturday. So it's been in here for about 2 days drying. And during the period of the 2 days, what I do is I change the paper towels and I do a little detailed work. And the detailed work is trying to remove the unwanted pulp that sometimes appears on the graphics. And the way I do that is I use my artist brush, just like this, with the mixture of methyl cellulose and water. And then I change out the paper towels. So let's see. It may still be a tiny bit damp, I think it is. But I want to remove the paper towels, and I'm going to press it again one more night without paper towels, and hopefully it will flatten out where it looks like it's pretty nicely flattened out the wrap with the casting. And the reason why I still have my leaf casting table is because I want to go right to the next wrap. So let's take a look. Let's see how it looks. And right now, looking at it, I'm happy with the results. The leaf casting is still a little damp, but I do believe that the color match is pretty good. It's good. It's very hard to match completely the color because this wrap has varying degrees of tan, but look how nice the spine blended in. So I'm very happy. And then you can tell by, here is the leaf casting, and then go into these lines right here, and you can see how the actual blend is pretty spot on. So I'm happy with it. What I would like to do is I would like to trim the edges so we can get rid of that. So what I'm doing is I'm taking my glass and I'm going to shut my lights off, these side lights, because these side lights will reflect in the glass. So we took them off, and I want to move the piece of Hollytex just like this, and we're going to put the piece of glass on top of my shelving unit. Just like this, boom, boom, boom. And as you know, when I do cutting, I always like to do cutting on glass, because I think it is the best method by which to cut the casting off. It gives it a nice base on the bottom so I can put pressure on the razor blade. And you see it's still damp, and you see how it's moving the wrap with the leaf casting. So it still has to be pressed, and it's a long process in pressing it. Sometimes it's 3 days more, okay? But you want to get the pressing done. And the reason why I want to cut the casting as well is because I don't want the casting to be pulling. And what does that mean, pulling? Well, it pulls at times when you are letting it overhang. And that's why I like just to get rid of some excess casting if I could. So there's one. See how easy that is? Nice cut. And I'll take this and I'll put it into the blender. All little scraps that I take off, I put into the blender. Let's flip this around like that. Actually, let's do it this way. And let's flip it around this way. Hopefully the camera's picking it up. And I am going to cut this little section off. And I have to do a shout out to Michael Mayrin, because I used to use a solid color or a solid ruler in the past, and Mike in one of his comments says, Jerry, why don't you use a clear ruler? And ever since then, I started using a clear ruler, and the clear ruler definitely is a game changer. So thank you, Mike. So we got that. Now you can see how it blends in a lot better. And whether I'm gonna do the top, should I cut that off? We're gonna leave that. But what I'm gonna do is let me just take some of this excess off on top, and then we'll fine tune that later when we do the bottom. Okay? So, there you go, guys. Let's get everything set up. Let me show you what I'm gonna do so we can conclude this upload like gentlemen. Okay, so we're gonna remove the glass just like this, and then what I want to do is I want to put a piece of Hollytex down just like this. See how nice that is? Put a piece of Hollytex down. Okay, and then we're gonna put the wrap back down just like this, and then we're gonna put, did I put, nope, see, I'm wrong. I want to put my plastic sheet down first. Always the plastic sheet down first, because this gives it a nice smooth finish. And I like just to rub my hands and make sure it doesn't have any dried pulp or anything like that. Now we're gonna put down the sheet or the wrap, which is the color match, man. I'm happy with it. Like I said, I have a lot of competition out there with color match where people are just going to town, you know, working really hard on doing color match, and I'm very happy with that. I'm glad that I have a little influence on what I do in the conservation community. So it's still a little damp, so that's why we want to just keep it in the press without the paper towels, and we're gonna put it back in, and I'll keep it there for another day or two in the bookbinding / copy press / Big Bertha. There we go, nice and tight. And that's it, guys, for this upload. I have to clean this out a little bit. You see the paper pulp that's in here? We're gonna clean that out. And the way I clean it out, I'll take this outside the grate, and look at it, look at all the pulp. See? A lot of pulp gets stuck in here. Look at that. So what I'll do is I will take this grate, the bottom doesn't make a difference, and I'll bring it outside and I'll hose the grate and clean it nice for the next wraps. And I'm keeping this bad boy out, guys, so we can finish up the remainder of the pages. Okay? So I appreciate your support. Thank you for stopping by, and stay tuned.